Hey y'all, what's up? It's Lauren and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to discuss my favorite Nicholas Sparks books of all time. Now, he's had a lot of books and there are still a lot of books that I have not read of his yet. So there are probably some on here that y'all like, that y'all don't like. There are probably some on here that I've read that y'all haven't read, and there are probably some that are not on here that I haven't read that y'all have. If y'all have read any, please let me know what y'all liked that it's not on this list, because I need to check them out. I love me some Nicholas Sparks. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at number 1 is The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. I have this thing, it's one of my rules. I don't like to get books with the movie covers, but I have more books with movie covers than I thought I did. It's just something that I don't like to do. It's upsetting. I don't like it. But what can you do? When you've got a deal, you can't pass it up. Although, and I have watched the movie, but this one is very special. This is probably one of my favorite books ever. And it is sad. I am probably going to go into some spoilers. So when a spoiler pops up, I will put the book down and I will talk about it. And then as soon as the spoiler is over, I will put the book back up. That lets y'all know that I am finished talking about it. So, yeah. Because I can't talk about this book without there being any spoilers. So I'm just going to read the back excerpt and then tell y'all why it's my favorite with some spoilers. So 17-year-old Veronica Ronnie Miller's life was turned upside down when her parents divorced and her father moved to Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. 3 years later, she remains alienated from her parents, particularly her father, until her mother decides it would be in everyone's best interest if she and her brother spent the summer with him. Resentful and rebellious, Ronnie rejects her father's attempts to reach out to her and threatens to return to New York before the summer's end. But soon Ronnie meets Will, the last person she thought she'd ever be attracted to, and finds herself falling for him, opening herself up to the greatest happiness and pain that she has ever known. So that's what this book is about. This book talks a lot about loss and building new relationships and getting relationships right before you lose someone. I can personally identify with Robbie in the respect that I lost my dad when I was a little girl, but I was old enough to remember him, so and to know that it's had like an effect on my life. So that's why I think I feel like I most identify with this Nicholas Sparks book. It is sad, and Ronnie gets this. She gets this relationship. She finds she's building a relationship, and right when she's building this relationship, something happens, and yeah. So I'm gonna put the book down now. It is a spoiler time. So when I bring the book back up, make sure to unmute the TV. I'm putting the book down now. So we all know that Robbie's dad dies in the end. And it's very sad. And I hate that for her. Because she's just now building up a relationship. And she's just now getting back into music. And getting more into things. And building this relationship back up with her dad. And it's sad because, you see her and she realizes that she doesn't get that much time with him anymore. And, yeah. But the reason why it's one of my favorites is because of the fact that I feel like I can identify with Ronnie. And, the fact that she is she realizes she needs to hold those family members close. Because after the death of my dad, I realized I needed to hold my family members even closer. So, that's what that was. So, we're going to go now into the non-spoiler part of the book. The book is back up. Y'all can unmute it now. Anyways, so yeah, this is one of my favorites. I mean, it's sad. He writes a lot of sad books, but still, you know, it has to do with Beach, and I really love the character of Will. I think he's good for her. He changes her. He helps her, like, realize that there's a lot of stuff in her life that, goes on, and, you know, she just helps him realize, or he helps her realize that, you know, she can be loved. And I do like the movie adaptation. Not as much as I like the book, though. Oops. My bad. So the next book is Safe Haven. This one is not as bad, and it's not nearly as sad as this one. I actually really liked it. I like the whole kind of mystery thriller type part. I will tell you, he knows how to write a female lead. Because I think, golly, I can't remember what her name is. Katie. Because when he wrote Katie, I think he did a really good job at her storyline and everything like that. And I don't know, I thought it was really good. The story, I'll read y'all the back of it. When a mysterious young woman named Katie appears in the small town of North Carolina town of Southport, her sudden arrival raises questions about her past, beautiful yet self-effacing. Katie seems determined to avoid forming personal ties until a series of events draws her into two reluctant relationships, one with her plain-spoken neighbor, Joe, and another with Alex, a widowed store owner with 2 young children. Katie slowly begins to relax her guard and putting down roots in the community and becoming increasingly attached to Alex and his family. But even as Katie begins to fall in love, she struggles with a dark secret that still haunts her. With Joe's support, Katie eventually realizes she must choose between a life of transient safety and one of riskier rewards. In that, in the darkest hour, love is the only true safe haven. I totally agree with that. I loved it. I think that this whole book is just, it was beautiful. It was a really well-written story, and one of his very few books that's not actually sad. Like, it's shocking, but I really liked it. I loved the story of Katie. I liked, gosh, I can't remember. I liked Alex, you know, and the whole single dad type thing, and she comes in and she's like, oh, hey, you know, she's not sure, he's not sure, but I really just like that. And I love the movie too with Julianne Hough and Josh Duhamel, and I loved it. I thought it was a really great book. One of my definite top favorites of his. That, and because it's not like another book, Dear John, that we're not going to discuss. He did a really good job on this one, and I love the characters, and I loved the storyline, and I just loved everything about it. It was so good. So I would definitely get this one. And I like the cover of this too. But anyways, that was a really good story, and I'm glad that I picked it up and read it, and I'm glad that I actually have it. Because I have read this a couple times too, because it was just really good. It was a really good story. And it has to deal with the beach. This one is another one of my favorites, and that is The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks. It's about these two. Ira Levinson. It's about these 3 different people, and 2 of them meet and fall in love, and another one is from another generation, but they all kind of are intertwined in a certain way. This does have a death in it. I will not mention who it is, but it's not like sad. You could see it coming. You knew it was going to eventually end up coming, and it's a non-sad death, if you know what I mean. I don't know if y'all know what I mean, but I'm just going to read the back of it. It goes, Ira Levinson is in trouble, 91 years old, stranded and injured after a car crash. He struggles to retain consciousness until a blurry image materializes beside of him, his beloved wife, Ruth, who passed away 9 years ago. Urging him to hang on, she forces him to remain alert by reminiscing about their lifetime together. Ira knows that Ruth can't possibly be in the car with him, but he clings to her words and his memories. A few miles away at a local bull riding event, University senior Sophia Danko meets a young cowboy named Luke. Through Luke, Sophia is introduced to a world in which the stakes are high. Reward and ruin, in even life and death, loom large in everyday life. She and Luke fall in love. Sophia finds herself imagining a future far removed from her plans if the secret Luke's keeping doesn't destroy it first. Ira and Ruth, Sophia and Luke, two couples who have little in common and who are separated by years and experience, yet their lives will converge with unexpected poignancy, reminding us all that even the most difficult decisions can yield extraordinary journeys. It was just a really great story. Things seek to break Luke and Sophia up, but certain circumstances happen, and things are, I guess you could say, divine intervention really happens, and it kind of points them towards each other and towards this man named Ira. The ending is really great. They get a happy ending. I will tell you that much, but that's all I'm going to tell you. I really did enjoy this book. It's different from his other ones because, like Safe Haven and Boat the Last Song, they both take place at the beach, and a lot of his books do take place at the beach. But this is actually a fun fact. This starts off at a rodeo in McLeansville, and I used to live in McLeansville, but now I live in the next town over. So that was really cool, kind of seeing my hometown being mentioned in a book. But and then it takes place at Wake Forest University and others in the Winston-Salem area of North Carolina. So we see him coming more inland than out, towards Wilmington and the beach and everything like that. So I like that. That aspect is not really about the beach, about this one. It was a great story. I loved the whole Luke and Sophia combo, like the cowboy and rodeo combo. Because I find something sexy about a cowboy. But anyways, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I loved this book. It was so good. I also did a review for it for my school paper when I came back from school one year, and it was really good. I totally enjoyed it. Out of all of his books, I'd say this is, obviously it's number 3, but still, this one does not have, you don't cry. You don't come away from this one crying, which is a good one because, if I want a good cry, I know I need to go read some Nicholas Sparks books because almost half of his books are, like, tearjerkers. But yeah, this was really good. I enjoyed it, and I really, really think y'all should go pick it up. The next one is one of my personal favorites, The Guardian. It is about a lady named Julie and her dog, a Great Dane. I forgot his name is Singer, and she meets this guy who she was married, but he died, and the book already starts out with letting us know, so that it's not a spoiler. It already gives us like that background information, but it lets us know that he has died, and so he got her Singer before he died and everything, and so I thought that was really cute. But she meets this guy. I think his name is Richard. Yes, Richard Franklin comes in, and he's rich, popular, good looking, just, everything we would want. And then there's this guy named Mike Harris, who is her brother, who is her husband's best friend and her best friend / protector. And so, there is a fight between Richard and Mike as to who will win Julie's heart. This is actually kind of like a mystery thriller mixed with romance kind of thing, because something happens and someone goes totally crazy and stuff like hits the fan. It was definitely an interesting one. I picked it up. I was like, ooh, this seems pretty interesting. It takes place in Swansboro, North Carolina, which I believe is near the beach. Yeah, it's still living in the small town of Swansboro, North Carolina. So, yeah, that does take place at the beach, I believe. But it's like a very, mystery thriller type romance kind of thing. I liked it. It's different from his other writings because he's all about like the romance. And this did have romance in it. She chooses one of the guys, whether Richard or Mike, but it was huge in the romance department. I mean, it was huge in the mystery department because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, things start to happen. You know, clues, certain things are left at her home that are like, what's this? Why is this here? What, you know, I noticed that car over there. Like, what happened? And this person's getting more aloof. So you really get a good mystery thriller, and it was so great. I enjoyed it. I loved the ending of it. It was so good. I did cry because something happens, but I'm not going to let you know. And I'm not going to let you know who, like, she chooses. You're going to have to choose. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. You got to go buy this book. It's called The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. Pick it up. The last one I loved was At First Sight by Nicholas Sparks. This is about a guy named Jeremy, and I'm just going to read you all the back. He said he never leave New York City, and he said he'd never give his heart away after surviving one failed marriage. But he now lives in the tiny town of Boone Creek, North Carolina, engaged to the love of his life, Lexi Darnell, and anticipating the start of their family. But just as everything seems to be settling into a blissful pattern, a mysterious email sets off a chain of events that will test the strength of Jeremy and Lexi's love. And as they cope with the doubts and fears and romance of the newlywed, Jeremy will discover an extraordinary truth. The emotion that can break your heart is sometimes the one that heals it. This was really great, and I bawled my eyes out because something big does happen in this, and it is unfortunately sad. But there's a second one in this series, and this is like I think it's a duology. I have to go on Goodreads and look at it, and I will link it down below, let y'all know what we got going on. But yeah, this was really, really good. I loved the story. It takes us through, like, you know, them meeting and them getting married, and then that's it. Like, and then after, like, what happens at the end. And then I think there's a second book, and I can't remember which one it is. I want to say it's True Believer, but I'm not sure. I'll have to go on Goodreads and look, but I will let y'all know. I have not read the second one yet, but this one was really, really good, and I think y'all should really read it. It's not a mystery thriller, but I mean, it is still like a romance, but it's a sad one. So if you're in for a good cry, please pick it up. But it was a really good story. I did enjoy it. And I loved the character of Lexi. I thought she was very headstrong, and I thought she was a very, you know, typical Southern girl. So, yeah. That's it. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Those are my favorite Nicholas Sparks books, and we can talk about in another video my least favorite Nicholas Sparks books, because I got some of them too. So just let me know what y'all want to see. Hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell down below as well. Also, up here in the About section, I have my Instagram and Goodreads linked. I am Liv Loves Books 17 on Instagram, and I am Lauren, quote, Liv Loves Books 17, end quote, on Goodreads as well. So please follow me on both of those. Other than that, I will see y'all later. Bye.